What's going on, guys? Sticks here with the Token Minorities, bringing you the battle for the first round of playoffs of Season 2 of the UBL, and we did make it into playoffs. We clinched Week 9, I believe, and with the loss to Steve, where I totally tried my hardestest, we ended up losing, which dropped us down to the second seed, where we will go up against Rewt and his New Jersey Brobats. And before I get into the team, just a reminder that if you guys like this video, please leave a like, drop a comment, click that subscribe button, helps us out a ton, and lets us do more cool stuff for you guys. Then also check out Rewt's channel, it will be linked in the description below. But anyway, so I want to apologize before I get into anything for the lateness of this upload. Just TLDR, Murphy's Law happened in terms of Pokemon, school, and life just kind of all happening together at the same time, which, I mean, I still got the battle done, and I got the video, but it caused the video to be released a week after it was supposed to. I don't even know what, like, the playoff schedule is supposed to do, but either way, I'm pretty sure we are the last one to have the video, so I do apologize for that. But yeah. Let's go ahead and hop right on into the matchup. Rewt has a team of Garchomp, Milotic, Incineroar, Shaman, Blastoise, Raichu, Mega Diancie, Meloetta, Nidoqueen, Scizor, Swellow, and the Ghostium Z. So yeah, his team is very scary, but that being said, I do think there are some things I can exploit. However, Mega Diancie is an absolute nightmare of a matchup for me. I mean, when I had Mega Scizor, it was much less of a worrisome matchup, but now, I mean, just kind of look at my team and look at a rock polished up Mega Diancie. Like, well, actually, it doesn't even have to be rock polished, just Mega Diancie in general. I don't have a safe switch in, and he doesn't even need that much coverage to hit everything on my team really, really hard. So that is going to be the main thing that I'm worried about in this matchup. But that being said, I am noticing that on his team, Scizor is annoying, but I mean, Magnezone can potentially take that thing out to where, I mean, like, Scizor, yeah, it's annoying for me, like I literally just said, but Magnezone can either take it out, or Scizor is forced to run a Shed Shell, both of which I'm okay with, because if Scizor doesn't have an item, aka it has to hold the Shed Shell, then that benefits me greatly, because he can't be like lefties, he can't be scarfed, just a lot easier to take on. And even if he doesn't bring Scizor, because of the speed tier that Magnezone is able to hit in this matchup, it still does actually very well against him. So yeah, I mean, Magnezone's going to be a big thing that I'm looking at in this matchup, but also Komao, like, his fighting resist is Nidoqueen, and Nidoqueen gets chipped down very, very quickly. So yeah, I'm thinking a Scarf Komao will be very, very good in this. Another thing that I was looking at was Scarf PZ. In addition to Magnezone, like, the Magnezone gets rid of the Scizor, and then Scarf PZ can just destroy stuff because Mega Diancie does not have any forms of recovery, so I would be able to exploit that really well. But just Komao hit a little bit harder and was a little bit more reliable, aka it didn't let Mega Diancie just come in and start boosting. So yeah, that being said, that's what my game plan is going to be around. Let's go ahead and hop right on into the team. First mon I'm bringing is a Mew with U-Turn, Roost, Psychic, and Taunt. With the team that I do have, Milotic is a huge pain in the butt for me to try to deal with. So this Mew is designed to switch in and take on Milotic, just keep it low or even beat it 1v1, because I mean, his team really doesn't like Mew. I mean, his psychic resists are Scizor and Incineroar, and Scizor, I already mentioned that Magnezone can potentially take care of it, and Incineroar this Mew is faster than, so I will be able to get momentum, and also Incineroar is weak to rock, so I can exploit that additionally. So the speed is for Scizor, so I always outspeed that thing. The defense is to avoid a 2-hit KO from a Scarf Garchomp's Earthquake, and then the attack is to give myself the best chance of breaking Meloetta and Shaman's subs. Now, because I mean, like, a sub CM Meloetta could be annoying for me, and a sub-seed Shaman could be really annoying for me as well, so Mewturn allows me to just break those subs more often than not, unless they are max bold and I get a low roll on the U-turn. So you might be looking at the EV spread and wondering, wait, why is he running a Serious Nature? And I mean, like, I thought about Bashful, I mean, I even tinkered with Quirky for a while, but I don't know, considering the fact that this is playoffs, I just felt that Sirius was the best nature for Mew, but in all seriousness, haha, pun intended, really there was just no reason for me to have a boosting nature, because that means I would have to take investment out of something else, and this was just the best way to maximize the EVs for what I was going for. Next up, we have a Choice Scarf Como with Close Combat, Clanging Scales, Flamethrower, and Earthquake. It's just nice and mixed, even though I'm going to be clicking Close Combat 99% of the time anyway. The speed is just for Scizor. Maxed out my attack so I hit as hard as possible. Soundproof was chosen because Boom Burst is a little bit annoying, and also I can just use this as a free switch into like a Choice Locked Swellow, and then the rest into Special Attack. And I decided on Clanging Scales over like Dragon Claw because, first of all, well, I didn't want to do Outrage because, you know, DNC, free switch, rip me. But Clanging Scales actually hits harder than Dragon Claw, and so I just decided to go with that, and then Flamethrower is for the Scizor if I'm in a situation where I need it. But like I said, gonna be clicking Close Combat, and if I'm not clicking Close Combat, probably clicking Clanging Scales. Here we have Seismitoad, and against him, I want to get rocks up ASAP and just start pressuring him with my fast stuff. Seismitoad has Stealth Rock, Ice Punch, Earthquake, and Knockoff with a careful nature, just need for the Spadef. Ice Punch is obviously for the Garchomp, Knockoff is for just, you know, spammableness against his team, and then Earthquake is mainly for the Mega Diancie, but also just a nice stab hit on whatever he tries to bring in. The careful nature with the investment is enough to avoid a 2-hit KO from modest Diancie's Moonblast, so basically that ensures that I will be able to 2-hit KO that thing with Earthquake 100%, so he has to have HP Grass in order to get a 2-hit KO on my Seismitoad, basically ensuring that I get rocks up, and yeah, just a nice little creep in speed, and through the rest into defense, so maybe I could take like a lead Garchomp's hits or a Scizor's hits or something to that effect. Here we have an Aerodactyl, obviously, a Mega Aerodactyl with Stone Edge, Earthquake, Ice Fang, and Roost. An offensive Mega Aerodactyl does very, very well in this matchup with Edgequake plus Ice Fang, just really pressures his team really, really hard, has a very nice speed tier for this. I'm not outsped by anything. Yes, Scizor is something that can revenge kill pretty easily, but like I said, I still have Magnezone. I will be able to hopefully trap that thing and just get rid of it. But also Mega Arrow, with the bulk that I'm allowed to invest in it due to its naturally high speed, I can use this as a switch into things like, basically things like Swellow, Incineroar, Garchomp to a lesser extent. I'm just able to switch in and take those things on pretty well with the coverage that I have. The speed is enough speed for Swellow. The attack is to guaranteed OHKO Mega Diancie after Stealth Rock. I believe it's Mega Diancie that was creeping something. Don't remember what it was, but it's just enough to OHKO just a neutral Mega Diancie after rocks, as Mega Diancie's probably going to take in a little bit more damage before then, but I do need to get that damage, that's worth noting. And then I split the remaining investment between between HP and defense, just because I wanted to maximize my ability to take physical hits, especially from like a Scarf Garchomp or a Sub Slack Chomp, or Endure Slack, that's right, that's what Tone brought in a mock, and I realized how big of a threat that was, so I just wanted to maximize my EVs to maximize my chances of living hits from potentially something faster than me, mainly the Garchomp should it be Scarfed or Slack in that case, so that's why I ultimately divided that up there while still being able to take special hits from the likes of Swellow. Next up is an Alolan Persian, which kind of just plays into the, okay, Garchomp, please don't sweep me mentality, because, I mean, Rocky Helm is able to take down that last piece of HP, should Endure Chomp be able to get up, and I can potentially take it out with the Rocky Helmet. Foul Play, Taunt, Parting Shot, Knockoff, just a very, very standard Alolan Persian set. And yeah, this thing does invite in Diancie, but I actually have a very cool, well, I have a cool idea for the instance that Mega Diancie should try to switch in on this Alolan Persian, so I'm going to save that for the game in hopes that it comes up. If not, I'll just tell you guys after the fact. The speed is enough speed for Mega Diancie. And then, yeah, it's just very, very straightforward Alolan Persian set. And finally, we have Scarf Magnezone with Flash Cannon, Thunderbolt, Volt Switch, and HP Fire. Just very standard trapping Magnezone set that also has some speed for the Mega Diancie, which, spoilers, that's what Magnezone outspeeds. So, yeah, that is the team, and let's just go ahead and hop right on over to the battle. Alrighty, here we are in the battle, and there are a couple things I'm noticing right off the bat. First thing is that he didn't bring Shaman or Meloetta, so both of those things were stuff that I was actually relatively concerned about, so not seeing those is great. Not seeing Nidoqueen is absolutely amazing, because the mons that he does have, none of those resist fighting, so Coma, oh yeah. Coma, oh yeah. I'm sorry. If you wanted to exit out of this video, I would not blame you one bit. But then he also only has the Garchomp, so not only does he not have Nidoqueen, he also only has the Garchomp, which means that is one less thing that Magnezone needs to really not... Basically, I need to get rid of Garchomp so Magnezone can spam its electric moves. That's what I was going for. I don't have to get rid of both Garchomp and Nidoqueen. I just have to get rid of Garchomp, and he did not bring the Raichu, which means that Magnezone is really just free to spam attacks with impunity. So that being said, I'm going to lead with my Seismitoad, get my rocks up ASAP, as I think they're going to be really important. Let's just go ahead and hop right on into it. So no matter what he leads off with, there's a very good chance that I'm just going to be able to get up my rocks immediately. Like, that is my ultimate goal, because I want to wear that Incineroar down. Additionally, I want to wear Swellow down. I want to put Mega DNC in range of close combat, as I do need 1 round of rocks to have a chance, 2 rounds to be guaranteed. So yeah, he leads off with his Swellow. I'm thinking, okay, this is probably just going to be Specs, so I'm just going to take the hit. It's going to do over half, and I'll get my rocks up, but it does less than half. So I was like, okay, what is this Swellow? Because it's not Specs. If it was Specs, I'd immediately go Coma-O and start putting insane pressure on him, because I think, like, Milotic is probably his answer to Coma-O, but otherwise, like, yeah, Milotic is probably his answer, and that has to be Flame Orb in order for it not to take a ton of damage. So I'm just going to go for the knockoff, as he actually ends up being Scarfed, and as soon as I saw that he was Scarfed, I was like, oh, well, crap, I really would have liked to have it locked in, because that's a free switch into Arrow, that's a free switch into Coma-O, that's free pressure, but now that it's knocked off, I can't just go into the Coma-O, as he actually just stays going for the Boom Burst. So that immediately tells me that he wants Seismitoad dead, like something really wants Seismitoad dead. So immediately, like, I'm already anticipating that Diancie is going to be rock polished, but that all but confirmed it. If he was willing to just sack off Swellow, basically, to just spam Boom Burst, get as much damage as possible, risk the free switch into Mega Arrow or Coma-O, so I'm going to have to play that accordingly. I am just going to go immediately for the Stone Edge and Mega Evolve as he switches into Scizor, and I miss. That really sucks, because I would have liked to figure out what type of Scizor this is as he reveals Leftovers, and so I'm thinking, okay, well, I didn't get the damage on Scizor. He's probably, like, he has no reason to roost up, because if I did have that damage, I could have gone immediately into my Magnezone, trapped it, and knocked it out. But I'm going to go into Persian as kind of a middle ground in case he wanted to go for Bullet Punch. Just, yeah, it's just kind of a middle ground play. U-turn would damage Scizor as well. But now that my Persian is in on his Scizor, I'm just going to go for the Parting Shot, and I'm thinking, okay, he could Superpower, he could U-turn, but there's really, like, he revealed Defog, he definitely has Roost if he's going to be bulky, he definitely has Bullet Punch, so I'm just going to go straight into my Magnezone, see if I can catch him going for a Superpower, but he actually ends up just going for the Toxic, and I was like, huh, well, he has Bullet Punch, Defog, Toxic, and more than likely Roost. If he's going to bring a bulky Magnezone, it's going to have or a bulky Scizor, it's going to have Roost. So yeah, not only is he not able to switch out of Magnezone, like, he literally has to double in order for Scizor to not be trapped by Magnezone. And even if Scizor is trapped, as you can see, it lived the Scarf HP Fire, which it wouldn't have, so I maybe could have bluffed that I was Specs or something else and not just Scarfed. So unfortunate, but I mean, it really doesn't ultimately affect the outcome of the battle. Like, it doesn't come into play a whole lot. Like, I would have liked to bluff the Specs, but I mean, he probably could have deduced that it was Scarf regardless. So yeah, I am able to take down the Scizor. Now when my rocks go up again, they are here to stay. However, my Seismitoad is low, so I'm going to have to play smart in order to try to get them back up. But with Incineroar in, I'm going to go immediately into my Persian, start chipping this thing down. Yeah, he can go for a U-turn, and U-turn is very obvious, but at least I can get some chip. Like, I want to start wearing Incineroar down, as it does make Mew a lot more free and makes Psychic insanely free against him. Like, Mew, once I get rid of Incineroar, spam Psychic and either gets a kill or in the case of Milotic, is able to wear it down. As Milotic comes in, I am just immediately going to parting shot out. I mean, I have no reason not to. Like, I could knock him off, but there's just no reason to at this point. I'm going to go into my Seismitoad, see if I can catch him on a Scald, see if I can heal back up some HP. As he just goes to the Tox, I mean, it's a good play. I probably wasn't going to go Magnezone in that specific instance. I mean, if I wanted to, I could have, but nah, Seismitoad was definitely the safe play there, as it's low enough to where Toxic doesn't even really hurt it that much anyway. And now at this point, I could get my rocks up, but my Milotic has the potential to outspeed, so I'm actually going to double into my Mew, thinking that, okay, he's not going to go for a second Toxic. He's probably, if he has HP Grass, he's going to go for it right now, and I can probably get up my rocks against this Incineroar later. Like, if I can't get it up on the Milotic, then I can just go ahead and sack off my Toad later if I need to, or try to get it up on the Incineroar. But he does double into that as I go into Mew, so good switch for him. I am going to Mew turn out. That actually does it doesn't do a lot at all. So that reveals that this is defensive Incineroar, no attack invested, which indicates to me that it's probably not speed invested, which means that Incineroar is something I can get up rocks against with my Toad later, in addition to my Milotic, as he did not go for the HP Grass earlier. So that series of plays ended up with my Aerodactyl at a higher amount of health, and the knowledge that Incineroar is not only bulky, but with no attack investment, and I have the ability to get up rocks with Seismitoad against both Milotic and Incineroar. So yeah, it seemed rather unnecessary in terms of the doubles, but it got me some very, very, very valuable information that I'll be able to use later in this game. So now that my Seismitoad is in, I am just going to go straight for the rocks as he ends up doubling into his Incineroar. That's a very good play. I mean, I think he was predicting the Mew, as I've shown that Mew is my initial switch into my Milotic, so good play on his end, but this does allow me to get up the rocks, as yes, Incineroar is going to take out my Seismitoad, but I've already taken out his Scizor. I have taken out the only Mon that can defog, so now rocks are here to stay, and like, honestly, Seismitoad did a very good amount of work. Like, it knocked off Swellow, unfortunately, but either way, got my rocks up. I'm in a very good position. So now that my rocks are up, he did KO my Seismitoad. I'm going to go straight into my Aerodactyl, and I have no reason to over-predict at this point. I'm just going to go straight for the Earthquake. If he wants to go into my Milotic, it's going to take a tiny chunk. Like, it's not going to do a whole lot, but the combination of Earthquake, rocks, and Burn is going to put it in a range where it's going to 100% have to recover, which means a free switch for me to take advantage of. So I'm going to take this opportunity, go straight into my Mew. If he wanted to be aggressive and go for Toxic, then he risked the fact that a Stone Edge into Burn into another Stone Edge maybe could have knocked him out depending on rolls or depending on a crit. So I figured he'd just make the safe play, go for a recover, which he does. And now I'm going to taunt the Milotic, prevent it from Toxicking me, as now that rocks are up, I can freely spam Psychic, as if the Incineroar comes in, it will take rocks, it will take U-turn damage from the Mew, it will just be that much lower. Otherwise, I can get a heavy hit off on something or begin wearing the Milotic down, as it's burned and does not have leftovers. He does just decide to go into his Swellow. I'm able to knock that thing out with a Psychic, and while Swellow was not that big of a deal for me to take out, like, it still was just still one less Mon that I have to worry about. Like, it was a speedy Mon, could outspeed Magnezone. Now, barring a Scarf Garchomp, Magnezone is going to outspeed everything on his team, which is very solid for late game. He does take this opportunity, goes into his Incineroar, takes rocks damage. I'm going to go for the U-turn once again and pull the switch into my Persian. Yeah, he's going to go for a U-turn of his own, but at the same time, Persian's HP isn't really necessary for anything. Yeah, he gets a crit, but meh, whatever. It's not that big of a deal. He gets the crit on my Persian, but the Rocky Helmet takes its toll. Incineroar is now dead on switch, meaning that Psychic with Mew is completely free. And here's where I get to pull off a very, very cool play that I alluded to in the team builder. So obviously, Mega Diancie seems super, super free right now. Like, it came in, took rocks, but now it can spam Moonblast against my team and get a kill, right? Nope. Because with Parting Shot and Magic Bounce, I can actually force his Diancie out. So Diancie came in, took rocks, Persian forced the Diancie out, now it has to come back in on rocks, And that might just look like, well, you just delayed Diancie coming in and getting a kill. Well, not only did I prevent Diancie from getting a kill at this point, it also put Diancie in range of close combat from my Kommo later, and this will get me chip damage on his Garchomp. So I am going to live on 1 HP, luckily, but I mean, had he not gotten the crit earlier, I would have been at a higher HP. So I mean, like I said, the crit did not matter at all, as he does reveal to be Tank Chomp and goes for rocks. So I was like, oh, well, that's a little bit annoying, but what I'm going to try to do at this point is just foul play twice, kill my Persian. I don't need it for Incineroar anymore. It's not overly helpful in this matchup, but I'm going to put Garchomp potentially in range of rocks. I'm going to try to go into Kommo at this point and fire off a close combat to get rid of the Garchomp, as I had a couple options. I could have gone into Mew and tried to Psychic, but I didn't want Mew to be toxic, as I need Mew for his Milotic later in the game, and I need Mew at as much health as possible in order to take on the Diancie and potentially live a Moonblast from it. So yeah, I'm going to go into my Kommo. I was risking the roll. I mean, if he knocked me out, it wasn't the end of the world because I could revenge with Aerodactyl, but luckily I am able to take out the Garchomp with my Kommo. So I mean, it really just, like, I decided to try to make the lowest risk possible, like what was the most expendable. Kommo definitely was, but luckily it was able to knock out his Garchomp, so I was able to take him out. He goes into his Milotic. I just switch out into my Magnezone as he doubles into his Diancie, I guess predicting the Mew once again. So I mean, like, he's making aggressive doubles, and at this point, if he's able to get Diancie in and get up to +2, I lose this game. Like, I potentially lose this game. I go into my Magnezone, and I'm just going to fire off a Flash Cannon. Like I said, I cannot let Diancie come in for free. Like, even a T-Bolt allows him to potentially get a Rock Polish up. So, I mean, Milotic is not an issue at all. Like, it's really not a threat against me because, like, yeah, it can come in, it can recover, it's annoying to take out, but giving Milotic a free turn means nothing in the grand scheme of things. Like, it's annoying, but it doesn't mean that I'll lose the game. However, if I give Diancie a free turn, even though I'm up 4-2 at this point, giving Diancie a free turn will lose me the game. So now my Milotic's at full. I'm predicting that, I mean, he's seen me use Taunt, and he's seen that that's the move I go for with Mew. I'm predicting that he'll try to double into his Diancie with, well, exactly, he'll try to double into his Diancie, predicting the Mew turn. And that's exactly what he does. So now I have the chance to bring in my Kommo and just fire off a close combat, because like I said, giving my Milotic a free switch is not a big deal. Giving a Diancie switch in is potentially season ending. So I just had to play very, very safe, and I just want to get Diancie into range of Thunderbolt for my Magnezone. The second I do that, I will win the game. And with the rocks damage, with that U-turn, I believe the next time it comes in, Diancie will be in range of a Thunderbolt. So at this point, I can kind of go for a game. Like, I don't have to keep making the safe play over and over. Like, I don't have to keep making the play that doesn't give Diancie a free turn. I can finally go for this super effective move on Milotic in order to finally take it out, as Diancie should be in range of a Thunderbolt at this point. So I know he's going to go for a recover. Going to take this as a chance to go into my Magnezone. Even if he went for a Scald, it wouldn't have killed me, and had he not recovered, he would have been in range of a single T-Bolt. So regardless, I was going to take a Scald and be able to knock out the Milotic in the process. So as you'll see, 2 T-Bolts will be able to take it down. And this game's going to come down to really whether or not Diancie is able to, first of all, live a T-Bolt at this range, which, I mean, he has to be insanely bulky to do so. And if he's that insanely bulky, he either doesn't have the speed for Mega Arrow even at +2, or he's not able to hit my Mew hard enough in order to win the game. So now that Diancie's going to come in, I'm just going to fire off a T-Bolt. If he goes for Rock Polish, he'll be able to kill my Magnezone and my Kommo, but again, Mew will probably be able to live a hit and take it out, but as it ends up, Magnezone's just able to take out the Diancie. So we are able to win the first round of playoffs 4-0, and even though that was 4-0, which is a really convincing score, that game was so much closer, because as you saw in the end, had I let Mew get chipped even just a little bit, Mega Diancie had the ability to come in on a careless turn where I just click like HP Fire or I'm locked into Clanging Scales with Como. Like basically he can turn just a careless turn by me into potentially winning the game, like into him reverse sweeping me with Diancie. So Rewt, that was a very, very good game. We do move on to the semifinals where we will have a rematch against CJ, which is unfortunate because I did not want to have to play CJ again, but alas, we do. And I hope you guys will tune into that. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And this is Styx signing out. Why not? See you guys.